Bird watching in the Nicobar Islands is a truly special experience. With their rich biodiversity and remote location, these islands are home to some of the rarest and most unique bird species on the planet, like the Nicobar Magapod, Nicobar Scops Owl, and the stunning hooded pitta, among many others. For birders and nature lovers, it's nothing short of paradise. Our journey began on the 3rd of September 2025. We flew out from Delhi with a stopover in Bhubaneswar before finally landing in Srivijayapuram, which many still know as Port Blair. The flight itself was magical. As we descended over the Bay of Bengal, the view from the window was breathtaking. Clusters of lush green islands scattered across crystal clear turquoise waters. Tiny, untouched islets, ringed by coral reefs, floated like gems in the sea. That aerial view alone felt like a preview of the wild beauty waiting for us below. We touched down in Srivijayapuram around 12:30 p.m. After a quick lunch, we set out for Chidiya Tapu, a hot spot for birds and coastal beauty. On the way, we stopped at Chatham Jetty, where I finally got a photo of the black-naped tern, a species I missed during my first visit to South Andaman. This elegant seabird is about 33 to 35 centimeters long, with a sharp black line running from its eye around the back of the neck, set against a pure white head and body. Its pale grey wings, deeply forked tail, and black bill make it easy to identify if you are lucky enough to spot one. These terns are found across tropical and subtropical coastal regions from India and Australia to the Pacific Islands. Once we reached Chidiya Tapu, our main target was the Andaman Crake, but unfortunately, luck wasn't on our side this time. As dusk settled in, we waited in hopes of spotting some of the endemic owls of South Andaman, but rain had other plans. Still, the day wasn't over just yet. Despite the weather, we were rewarded with a sighting of the Oriental Scops Owl, Walden's subspecies. This small, nocturnal owl is a master of camouflage, blending into the forest with its grey and brown plumage. It's usually tough to find, so spotting it, especially in the rain, felt like a real win. Native to parts of Southeast Asia, including the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Walden's Scops Owl is a favorite among birders for its elusive nature and haunting calls. By the end of day 1, we had recorded 21 different species in South Andaman. Not bad for a start, and we couldn't wait to see what the rest of the trip had in store. Day 2, 4th September 2025. Day 2 began with our long-awaited journey to the Nicobar Islands. We boarded the ship Nalanda, our home for the next 32 hours. We had a well-maintained first-class cabin with 4 cozy bunk beds and a small sitting area. It was simple but comfortable enough for the voyage ahead. Once we settled in, we made our way to the open deck, hoping to spot some pelagic birds as we sailed through the Bay of Bengal. And we weren't disappointed. Throughout the day, we had incredible encounters with some stunning seabirds, including sooty tern, bridled tern, wedge-tailed shearwater, streaked shearwater, greater crested tern. The ocean was alive with bird activity, and every sighting felt like a reward. Day 2 ended with a total of 7 different pelagic species, including 3 lifers, the sooty tern, wedge-tailed shearwater, and the elusive brown noddy. While the noddy managed to escape our cameras, we were lucky to photograph the other 2, making the day a huge success. Day 3, 5th September 2025. We woke up to the ship arriving at Kamorta Island, our first major stop in the Nicobar group. The ship docked here for about an hour to offload some cargo and passengers. I will be covering the birds of Comorta in a separate video. As the journey continued, we passed by Kachal Island. From the deck, we could still see the impact of the devastating 2004 tsunami. Parts of the coastline appeared reshaped and battered even after all these years. The ship halted here briefly before moving on toward our final destination, Campbell Bay, Great Nicobar Island. During this stretch, we spotted white-bellied sea eagle, a few more sooty terns, another look at the wedge-tailed shearwater. We arrived at Campbell Bay around 4 p.m. and made our way to the APWD guest house, which would be our base for the next 7 days. Day 3 came to an end with 7 species recorded, combining both pelagic and island birds. With calm seas, good light, and rare sightings, the excitement was building as we approached the heart of our birdwatching adventure, Great Nicobar Island. Day 4, 6th September 2025. Day 4 marked our first full day of birding on Great Nicobar Island, and we were brimming with excitement. With tea in hand and binoculars ready, we began our adventure at 7 a.m., hoping to uncover some of the island's most elusive and beautiful species. And right off the bat, we were rewarded with one of the island's true gems, the Great Nicobar serpent eagle. Measuring just 38 to 42 centimeters, with a wingspan under a meter, this is one of the smallest serpent eagles in the world. It stands out with its flat crown, large head, and short wings, quite distinct from the mainland crested serpent eagle. Adults have pale underparts and narrow tail bands, while their legs, eyes, and beak shine a brilliant yellow. This rare raptor is endemic to southern Nicobar, often seen perched high in the evergreen forest canopy. Next, the forest gifted us with a burst of color, the Nicobar hooded pitta. Shaped like a typical pitta, it boasts a plump body, short tail, and long legs. But its coloration is breathtaking: a green body, black hood, chestnut crown, electric blue wings, and a vivid red patch under the belly. It's found only on Great Nicobar, preferring the dense, undisturbed rainforests far from human reach. As we moved deeper into the forest, we spotted the Nicobar Jungle Flycatcher, a small, brownish bird just 14 to 15 centimeters long. Though subtle in appearance, it has a charm of its own: a hook-tipped bill, buff eye-ring, and soft peach-toned undertail. This flycatcher, also endemic to southern Nicobar, thrives in forest thickets and lower vegetation, where it quietly forages for insects. Then came a flash of green and grey, the striking Nicobar parakeet. One of India's rarest and most range-restricted parrots, it measures 56 to 61 centimeters and sports a brilliant grass-green body. Males have a red upper mandible, pale grey head, and a black facial band that extends into a faint collar. Females, on the other hand, have a blue-tinged head and a fully black beak. These parrots feed mainly on fruits, especially from the pandanus tree, and are found only on a few remote Nicobar Islands. Soon after, we encountered the elegant Nicobar imperial pigeon, a sleek, medium-sized fruit-eater with a pale grey head and glossy blue upperparts. Though both sexes appear identical, males are slightly larger. Unlike the Andaman wood pigeon, this species has only a limited patch of metallic green and lacks a metallic tail. Their flight is smooth and graceful, often spotted moving between tall trees in evergreen forests across the archipelago. Among the more widespread species, we also saw black-naped oriole with its golden yellow body and bold black eye stripe, Black-naped monarch, the male's striking azure blue plumage always catches the eye. Andaman green pigeon. Common hill mine. Grey wagtail. Asian glossy starling. Long-tailed parakeet. Plume-toed swiftlet. Pied imperial pigeon. Collared kingfisher subspecies, Tudiramphus chloris occipitalis. Greater racquet-tailed drongo. Ornate sunbird. Crimson sunbird. And some shore birds like Tibetan sand plover, redshank and Pacific golden plover. But the real highlight of the day came after sunset. As darkness fell, we patiently waited and finally, we spotted one of the top targets of the trip, the Nicobar Scops Owl. A mysterious and rarely seen species, this tiny owl, about 19 to 20 centimeters long, is found only on Great Nicobar Island. Its warm brown plumage, fully barred rather than streaked, gives it perfect camouflage among tree bark. With pale underparts, white scapular spots, mid-length ear tufts, and powerful claws, it's unlike any other Asian scops owl. Its iris color remains a mystery, though it's lightly yellow. Spotting this bird in the wild was an unforgettable moment. To wrap up the day, we also came across a brown boobook, adding to our growing list. By the end of day 4, we had recorded 30 bird species, including 7 lifers, a fantastic start to our time in Nicobar. Day 5, 7th September 2025. Our 5th day on Great Nicobar Island promised another thrilling adventure. Our goal is to find the star attraction of the island, the elusive Nicobar Magapod, a mound-building bird found nowhere else in India. With high hopes, we set off before dawn at 4:30 a.m., heading toward Indira Point, the southernmost tip of India. As the sun began to rise, we stopped at Shastri Nagar for a quick cup of morning tea and were greeted by a few early risers of the bird world. White-breasted waterhen. Edible-nest swiftlet. Sand plover. Pacific golden plover. The road to Indira Point winds through dense forests and coastal habitats, offering glimpses of wild, untouched Nicobar. However, just after crossing Galathea, we discovered that a small bridge leading to Indira Point had been washed out. Unfortunately, we couldn't go any further. But the journey didn't end there. We turned back and decided to explore Galathea Beach, another hotspot for the Nicobar Magapod. To reach the beach, you have to cross a 400-meter-long wooden bridge over a patch of dense mangroves and swampy forest. It's a magical walk, with the sound of waves in the distance and birdsong all around. When we finally reached the beach, it was teeming with shorebirds and rich coastal life. We began our search for the Megapod, carefully scanning the undergrowth and listening for movement. After about 30 minutes, there it was, a brief but thrilling sighting of the Nicobar Magapod, the mysterious mound builder of these islands. This shy, ground-dwelling bird is known for its unique nesting behavior, building massive mounds of decaying vegetation to incubate its eggs using natural heat. Elusive and rarely photographed, spotting one in the wild felt like a true privilege. While exploring Galathea, we also managed to photograph the Nicobar imperial pigeon again and had an unexpected bonus, a sighting of the Nicobar tree shrew, a rare endemic mammal found only in this region. As the weather turned, a light rain began to fall. After a quick lunch, we started our return journey to Campbell Bay. On the way back, we were lucky to spot Jordan's Baja, a striking raptors with a bold crest. And once again, the vibrant Nicobar parakeet. By the end of day 5, we had recorded 34 different bird species, including a lifelong dream species, the Nicobar Magapod. Day 6, 8th September 2025. With the Nicobar pigeon still on our wish list, we dedicated Day 6 to exploring the Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve, one of the most biodiverse regions on the island. We set out early, beginning our birding by 6 a.m., hoping the weather would hold. The day started well. Among the first birds we photographed were the vibrant crimson sunbird, grey wagtail, always a delight in forest streams, and the unmistakable greater racket-tailed drongo with its long, trailing tail feathers. Then, in a flash of iridescent green and deep purple, there it was, the elusive Nicobar pigeon. A truly stunning bird. Unfortunately, true to its shy nature, it vanished into the undergrowth before we could get a photo. Still, just seeing it in the wild was a moment to remember. As clouds began to roll in, we changed course and headed toward the Jungle Bay area near Jungle Beach, hoping for clearer skies. The weather turned moody, with intermittent rain showers making the day challenging for photography and birding. Even so, we managed a few good sightings, including a majestic white-bellied sea eagle soaring low over the coast, another grey wagtail sighting, and the elegant pied imperial pigeon perched high in the forest canopy. Despite the weather and low light, we ended the day with a modest 22 bird species recorded. Day 6 may not have been the most productive in terms of photos, but the brief sighting of the Nicobar pigeon made it worthwhile. Some days in the wild are slow, but every moment brings you closer to nature's secrets. Day 7, 9th September 2025. We stayed closer to base and decided to explore the Campbell Bay area, with one main target in mind, the elusive Nicobar crake. While the crake remained hidden, the morning rewarded us with some beautiful sightings. Among the first were Great Nicobar serpent eagle, once again showing well. A Nicobar hooded pitta, this time carrying nesting material, a special moment. The always active Nicobar jungle flycatcher. Asian glossy starling. Edible nest swiftlet. As we moved toward the coastline, we also spotted Pacific golden plover, ruddy turnstone, and the shy common emerald dove, hiding in the underbrush. But birds weren't the only highlights of the day. We came across a few fascinating non-avian species, including a variety of snails, a crab-eating macaque, and one of the island's rarities, the Daniel's forest lizard. This rare agamid lizard is found only on Great Nicobar. Named after naturalist J.C. Daniel, it's a beautifully camouflaged reptile, usually spotted in dense evergreen forests. Arboreal and insectivorous, it feeds on small insects and is rarely seen, making this encounter truly special. By the end of day 7, we had recorded 21 bird species, along with some incredible reptile and mammal sightings, a perfect wrap-up to our unforgettable journey across the Nicobar Islands. Day 8, 10th September 2025. For our final day on this remote paradise, we set our sights on the Galathea Bay area, hoping to spot some raptors before wrapping up the trip. We started early, hitting the trail by 5:30 a.m. And what a send-off it turned out to be. At Magarnala, tucked deep in the forest, we had a surprise lifer, the elusive and rarely seen Malayan night heron. This mysterious forest floor dweller measures about 45 to 49 centimeters, with a wingspan nearing 87 centimeters. It's instantly recognizable by its rufous brown body, black crown and crest, and white-tipped blackish flight feathers. Its stubby, slightly curved bill, bluish-green lores, and compact build give it a distinctive look among herons. Though widespread across parts of India, Southeast Asia, and the Philippines, this species is incredibly shy and mostly active at dawn or dusk, making it a tough bird to see, let alone photograph. Spotting it here, in the quiet forest of Great Nicobar, was truly a special moment. As we continued through the area, the bird activity picked up. Other notable sightings included Nicobar imperial pigeon, collared kingfisher, long-tailed parakeet, white-bellied sea eagle, Jordan's baja, Nicobar parakeet, crested honey buzzard, crested serpent eagle, Andaman green pigeon, black-naped monarch, and the colorful ornate sunbird. Along the way, we also took some time to relax and enjoy the serene surroundings of Shastri Nagar beach, soaking in the coastal beauty and calm atmosphere. In total, we recorded 28 bird species on our final day, a fitting end to an unforgettable birding expedition across Great Nicobar Island. Day 9, 11th September 2025. With our time on Great Nicobar Island coming to an end, we were all set to begin our journey back to South Andaman with a stopover at Kamorta Island. The ship ride from Campbell Bay to Kamorta took about 6 hours, and we arrived by 2 p.m. After an overnight halt. We departed Kamorta the next morning at 11 a.m. The birding experience on Kamorta will be featured in a separate video. Stay tuned. Day 10, 12th September 2025. We returned to South Andaman from Kamorta with a quick stopover at Car Nicobar, this time by helicopter. By 1 p.m., we had landed and made our way back to the hotel. After a quick lunch, we set out once again, making the most of our half day of birding. Our targets for the afternoon were terns, and we were rewarded with sightings of black-naped tern and the elegant roseate tern. Despite the short time, the day was a success, with one lifer added to the list, making our brief return to South Andaman well worth it. Day 11, 13th September 2025. Our incredible journey through the Andaman and Nicobar Islands was coming to an end. With just a few hours left before our flight to New Delhi, we made the most of the morning, squeezing in one last birding session in South Andaman. We headed out early to the Hobdipur and Sippighat areas, hoping to catch a few final endemics before wrapping up. In just 2 hours, we were rewarded with some fantastic sightings, including Andaman wood pigeon, Andaman kakushrike, Andaman bulbul, Andaman flower pecker, Asian fairy bluebird, and the ever-beautiful white-throated kingfisher. Despite the limited time, the morning yielded 28 bird species, including 2 lifers, a perfect way to conclude the trip. After birding, we returned to the hotel to grab our luggage and headed straight to the airport, bringing this unforgettable expedition to a close. Our time in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands gave us not just lifers and rare endemics, but a deep appreciation for these remote, biodiverse islands. From dense rainforests and mangrove-lined shores to quiet coastal villages and windswept beaches, every moment brought something new. As birders, these islands are a treasure trove, and for those who seek adventure off the beaten path, this is a place that stays with you long after you've left. Thank you for joining me on this birding journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the upcoming trip highlights and more birding adventures.